One thing that God has taught me over this year of me starting my relationship with Him back in March of 2024 is the power of words. He says that life and death is in the power of the tongue, and I truly believe that. Something I've noticed that a lot of people do that I like meet or encounter, they are believers and they are Christians. They'll say like, "Oh, I have anxiety," or I'm just depressed or things like that. You are coming into agreement with that, and you are proclaiming that and speaking that over your life. Uh, you know, like for example, in the movie Inside Out, she told anxiety to stop. She called it out. She said, "Anxiety, stop." That's something that we as believers have to practice in our everyday lives, because these spirits are. Uh, they're pawns of the devil, and they have names, like just like how we have names, and God has different names for different things like healing and deliverance. The devil's minions, they have names too, and a couple of them are anxiety, depression. Those are their names, and you have to call them out by name, rebuke them, renounce them, denounce them, and just basically come out of agreement with it and stop proclaiming it over your life. I'm not a doctor, so I can't say that, you may not have a chemical imbalance, because you could have genetically inherited that. But what people don't talk about is how these things can be spiritual too, like, and how these different what's the word? I don't know. But they, if you're a believer, they have names and you can call them out. And, according to Luke 10:19, we have the power and dominion over them to do just that. So every day that you get up, you call these spirits out by name and you tell them no. You say no, and you rebuke them, and you command them to go back to the abyss of hell where they belong, because they have no power over you and they're not supposed to have a stronghold over you. Call these spirits out by name. That's what God gave us the authority to do. And I think it's important as believers, we should exercise that, because He's so gracious enough to give us that authority through Jesus Christ. So we should we should own it. We should own it. We should walk in that. We should walk in that and know that we have power over these things. So I just want to come share that with you guys. There's always a natural side of things, and there's also a spiritual side of things that a lot of people don't talk about. And God always reminds me of having knowledge, especially from His living word.